Selhurst Park. Wasn't the greatest of nights. I think we can all agree on that one. It was a tough watch. I think all you guys out there probably are watching this because you've watched it too. Analysis of that, like what we're saying, it was just genuinely really poor. I can't think of. I think very few positive performances, very few positives to take from it, apart from the fact that it's essentially still in Newcastle United's hands, basically, to go and grasp at European players that probably will be available.
It's just a write-off game, but it's sort of indicative of how the season's played out. For all the, like you say, the remarkable results, like we saw against West Ham, coming from 3-1 down, beating Spurs 4-0 in recent weeks. There's been games, particularly away from home like this, where Newcastle haven't really turned up. This was, like we've said earlier, it was like the Fulham away game recently, just bar the bad half hour they had at Craven Cottage, it almost extended to a full 90 minutes. I thought the
difference was probably that they took their chances and Fulham didn't. And Newcastle,
and Newcastle just couldn't register a shot on goal until the 86th minute, and then finally Anthony Gordon probably has the best chance of the game in the 95th, I think it was. So yeah, Newcastle never really got going. Had a couple of moments, and Eddie Howe said he was baffled by his players' lack of willingness to shoot, which I think was probably epitomised by a great ball over for Harvey Barnes, who then decides to backheel it to Anthony Gordon, doesn't quite come off, and then another ball over the top for Alexander Isak, can't get his shot away. And Alexander Isak, in the form he's in, just take that first time, it could be a different game.
Sean Longstaff as well for the penalty decision, which I think people out there probably think it was a penalty. I'm sort of on the fence where if it's given, I probably don't overturn it because it wasn't given. I'll see why the referee stuck with his decision, but that's not a situation where Sean Longstaff isn't in the box, got a chance to get a shot at goal and goes down, which he's done many times in a Newcastle shirt.
I thought it was soft.
Yeah. No, I can't disagree with that. I think if it's given, I don't think it's overturned.
I agree. Yeah,
but I do agree it's soft. Just a really flat night. 10 days to prepare for that. Didn't look like Newcastle had played 3 days ago because the Palace were the team that had done that. Eddie Howe spoke about the 10-day break and thought it was actually a hindrance in many ways. Said they needed the game straight after the Spurs game because they're good feeling within the group, but they left it 10 days and put in a very flat performance. I think he actually agreed that it was. I think he was asked if it was Newcastle's worst performance of 2024, and he agreed with that. Which I think off the top of my head, there's probably been others, but I think because of Newcastle, the turn of form that you felt they were in, it was a really disappointing night overall. And yeah, there's not much to be honest. I just hope that they can put it behind them quickly because they've got a big game Saturday now against Sheffield United. But then to get to Europe, I'll ask the question anyhow. The form on the road this season's been pretty poor. I think it's 4 Premier League away wins, I think, off the top of my head.
Somebody was saying 10 defeats in the press box. I don't know if that's
right.
True.
Well, it's a lot for away from home, and the 3 of the last 5 games this season are away from home. So if they want to go and get that European place, then they need to at least try and pick up a win somewhere away from home. Otherwise, they might falter a little bit. But it is still in Newcastle's hands. That's the thing I'm taking for it. Just a shame that Man United didn't lose tonight because I would have still remained in 6th, but still plenty to play for.
I think the 6th. I think Man United always by hook or by crook find a way.
Yeah,
and I think they did last season. They were rubbish. Newcastle United wiped the floor of them as a football team last season and still finished behind them in the Premier League. So I think by hook or by crook they'll find a way of finishing 6th, even though they've been a complete disaster this season. Point for me, I'll be the first one to go in on it. Then I think the biggest talking point from tonight was Eddie Howe and his tactics. He got rightfully praised to the hilt by me, by both these two guys alongside us on my left and right, by probably 52,000 people who watched that match live against Tottenham and the thousands who watched it on TV. Anybody who witnessed tonight will have probably more questions than answers with regards to that. I felt like we watched a tactical masterclass where Eddie Howe bamboozled Tottenham with the way Newcastle United played, went man for man. It seemed like a very tailored way of playing against a team with a particular type of threat and threats dilutes the fact that it was a tactical masterclass when he just deliberately replicates exactly the same formation and system against a totally different team with totally different threats. And I think that actually takes the shine off what was an amazing tactical, like I said, masterclass in many ways. It takes the shine off it for me.
Yeah, I think
you're going to jump in.
No, well, you get so encouraged by a win like Spurs where you go, Eddie Howe really knows what he's doing. He can bamboozle what we've all said, one of the best teams, footballing teams
Brilliant
this
watch,
season. And Newcastle tore them apart to then do the same thing, or try and do the same thing in terms of the setup. I just thought was a bit naive.
I'm really disappointed.
So one thing I would say is I don't disagree in many ways that he stuck with the same formation, but what I do disagree with is that he didn't change it. So he got a half time, you seen it wasn't working, and they came back out in the second half in the exact same shape in Crystal Palace, picked up where they left off really, and took the lead, and deservedly took the lead. That was the thing I didn't like about it, was the fact that you could see it wasn't working, and there wasn't a willingness to change that. He tried in the end to tinker about bringing on Callum Wilson, Isaac dropping a little bit deeper.
Kept it largely the same though, didn't he? Because
he moved Elliot Anderson over to right wing back.
Right back. And I just couldn't get it. I was genuinely baffled, and I'm really disappointed.
He didn't have to do that formation again. It wasn't like, as you mentioned there, moving Elliot Anderson from left to right. He could have just changed it and went with flat back.
Could have started Lewis.
Obviously, I think well, Lewis Hall came on, actually made an impact again.
By the way,
I thought he got forward quite well.
His forward stuff isn't in doubt. It's just, is he good enough defender in the Premier League? And I think those questions, I like what I've seen from him late in the latter half of the season, but the questions still remain: is he a good enough defender? I think he's more of a wing back than Elliot Anderson will ever be, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if
begs
those
the question.
questions are about Lewis Hall, what are those questions of Jacob Murphy? Because he's definitely not a defender.
No, he's definitely not a defender. In a system that worked so well, everything went right, worked to a T with Emil Kraft tucking in inside of Jacob Murphy. And that probably brings up the second point, which I wasn't going to come on to so quick, but sod it, we'll just say it. I think this is a very good time for Newcastle United to have some home truths. And I think home truths start by saying there's been a lot of good footballers at this football club, in this squad. A lot have done a very, very good job at the best level. But in the interest of progress, change happens. Everybody's got to change. Teams have got to change. Managers change. Personnel, systems, it's all change. Doesn't mean you just hang on to the players because of sentimentality, or we're too nice. Do we give players too much credit because of what they've done before? I think there's 3 or 4 bodies in that first team today, probably tomorrow when you watch this. I think there's too many players in that team now, or have come to the point where if you're going to progress as a team and you want to operate at the level Newcastle want to operate, and let's be honest, they're operating at that level now, but if you want to stay there and be consistent and look upwards rather than down, there are 3 or 4 bodies in that first team side today. You'll have to say thank you. You've been fantastic. You've done a great job. No fault on what you've done before, but we need better now. And
they've reached the
I'm not gonna name names. I think anybody out there did. I said the same thing on the live, which you can watch as well. Give that a little look, because there's a few interesting bits and bobs in there as well, including some shadow boxing and some random chanting and a few thoughts from Lee Ryder of the Chronicle as well. Yeah, I think Newcastle have there's got to be some home truths. There's got to be some honest conversations had this summer to say, look, we've got to progress. So there's certain players have got to drop out of this squad. You all know who they are. We all know who they are. Eddie Howe needs to make those decisions. And back to the tactics. I'm just. You talked about the idea on the live being sad, really, and I think there's a missed opportunity. I think this was a big missed opportunity for Eddie Howe. I think his stock in a tactical sense has been lessened slightly, because if he'd gone back to a 4 today and it didn't work, you wouldn't be asking the same questions. Because you would still be looking back at that Tottenham game going, in isolation, he did that. It was tailored and it was brilliant. He didn't work it out today. But actually, just to replicate the same thing, is that the way he wants Newcastle to play all the time? Or was it such a basic thought, which would be as worrying, that he looked at what happened there and thought, I can't change that because that team did so well against... That would just totally eliminate any tactical thought, nuance, anything.
Is it a personnel thing though? Because who
That
else
could be
he
it.
have put in the side? Like
Right.
Callum Wilson's been out for 2 months.
You
Tino
could've-
Livramento obviously still carrying that injury. That's why he didn't get on
Right.
tonight.
Lewis Hall is the one, isn't it?
But
Yeah,
you,
that's
you,
what
you
I'd
could still
put
go. You could still go back to a back four. You bring Lewis Hall back in because he placed so much trust in him the 3
Yeah.
games before coming out of the team because of injury against Spurs. So it was feasible you could go back to a flat back four now.
With
Practice the right
Byrne,
back.
who's a better centre
Which
half
is-
than he ever
yeah.
will be as a full back.
Yeah.
Play him centre half, play a share, and just put Kraft at right back and take Murphy out of the team.
Who's a much more natural right back than he is a centre back, and
Yes.
much more natural right back than Jake Murphy.
And let's be honest, again, I thought they were a bag of nerves on the ball today, and that's the levels of quality that need to be improved in this team.
That's where the goals came from, wasn't it? That
I
right
said I wasn't
side.
going to name names, so I've just went name two. I'm not.
But,
But I think we all know that. I think it's
speaking in
yeah,
terms of the game,
yeah. But no, I think there is. I think it's probably getting to that point that they're good players. They've been good players for Newcastle United, but having to rely on these players to get you over the line in a European race, they're going to be found wanting at times because it's not a level they've ever operated at consistently, and wouldn't operate at in any other team in this race. Fighting for where Newcastle United on, and we're not even talking about the teams above. I'm talking about none of them would get a game for Chelsea, none of them would get a game for Manchester United.
Who's gonna?
no, I agree.
It's,
Where do
yeah,
we go from there?
I mean, tonight was another reminder of that. We've spoken about sentimentality before, and when you have results, performance like that, it is a sort of a brutal, harsh reminder, I feel like, that there is a lot that needs to be done for Newcastle to progress to where they want to be, and that includes personnel. But of course, it goes back around the full circle. How quickly can they do that because of PSR, financial fair play, etc.? But we could speak of that for a night, so I don't really want to.
We're not going to speak about that.
No.
We've got to get home. We're actually staying in London tonight. Well, Croydon. So we need to get there, don't we?
Yeah.
It's been a late one. I did half an hour on the live. These guys even popped their head in at the end. We lost our tripod today,
Yeah.
so we've got this like propped up here. We've still got no mics, so you
Honestly, it's just disaster.
yeah, we haven't had a great day.
We'll be back though, me and Jordan on Friday.
Sounds like we're so negative. I'm so sorry for
Is it-
everybody
is
who
it
tunes in from around the world to watch this.
Is there any positives?
I think the
Callum
positive.
Still
Wilson's back.
Newcastle's hot eye.
Come on.
Yeah, the positive for me is that Saturday's a new game, and
It's
it's
still
against
Newcastle's
Sheffield
house.
United at home, and it's if they go and beat that, the whole complexion changes again, because you're going to Burnley thinking, right, forget about Palace, but if you look, let's be honest, if they turn up at Burnley like they did today, they'll get beat again. So they need to be better. Maybe Burnley don't quite have that quality, but they've got a lot on the line and a lot to play for. So you'd imagine it'll be a tough game there. Sheffield United, you go and beat them. I think things start to look reasonably positive again, even though 3 out of your last 4 will be away from home. It's all in their hands. If they want this European place, if they've got the ability to snatch this European place, which to all intents and purposes would be against the run of play in many ways. They've never looked like a team that's going to take it until very recently, in this recent run. They've always been playing catch up, whatever position they're going for. They've always never felt they're quite there. So if they were to go and grasp it, it would be absolutely remarkable. We spoke about that before the game between themselves.
Said it last week as well.
But the fault lines are still there. That it's not like they've turned over a new leaf. This is a reality check to say this is still the same team that has faltered consistently through the season, no matter the personnel that they've got, no matter who's available. Right. It's not long.
Hold it there.
Do you think 15 minutes?
What do you want to talk about? I think disappointing defeat. There's not much more. There's no positives. Callum Wilson's back, I suppose. But other than that, we'll move on.
We do.
And Newcastle should move on because big game on
We have. Right. You know what to do. It hasn't been the most uplifting, the most positive down here in South London, but
Hey, Jordan hates Selhurst Park.
why do you hate Selhurst Park?
Right at the end.
See what-
No, it's the press box, isn't
the
it?
press
Jordan?
box. I mean,
We couldn't see.
follow
what
me
was
on
going
Twitter, you guys on Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. Check out my pre-match photo from the press box. I couldn't see a bat.
Couldn't stand up. I was just
Aye,
saying
we
on the
were
live, we're
standing
like
up, weren't we?
tiptoes over looking over people.
Nice half-time pie though.
Although you guys have got
Aye.
an inch or 2 on me, so you've probably looked
Aye.
taller, but
Yeah, sorry, I dropped you in there.
No, no, it's
Jordan,
fine.
But I
Don't
agree. I
have to.
think press box needs.
It's a nice traditional ground, but yeah, I don't enjoy my visits here because the football isn't usually very good, as well as
Newcastle ever
as
win?
well as the work
It's,
environment.
I think they won a few years ago. I can't remember when
Behind
it was.
closed
Maybe a
doors.
lockdown win
But
when
wow,
Joe Linton scored.
yeah, I think that's what it was.
Wilson
that
and
was the
Joe
last
Linton.
one. Wow, it's we really come here and stink the place out. Like
Every single year.
last year was awful, wasn't it?
It was 0-0.
The year before was
awful.
was
but
was like
Wilson
this.
scored a stunner.
But Wilson scored an overhead kick. Yeah.
It's not a happy ground for us.
Interestingly, worst press boxes. I don't think. I think that's bad, right? This is first world problems.
Right. The
Journalists
worst one,
who get free meals, free tickets on the match, complaining about their seating, but
the worst one by a mile.
Yeah.
I think we'll all agree.
it's so easy to say. Nobody,
it won't
you guys out there won't know this because you'll probably never. You may never. You may never sit in a press box. Come on, what is it? We all know. We
won't be in it for long.
Should we
hopefully.
say it all together on 3?
Yeah, go on then.
1, 2, 3.
Everton.
Everton. It has to be. I don't think there's anybody who's a journalist will disagree with that. It is easily the worst, and it is toppled by clubs down in the National League.
Yeah, no, it is.
By
Gateshead's
some
press box better
distance.
than Everton.
You cannot move
Chesterfield's is better.
in Everton's. I don't know what the average size of it
Dom's alright.
of a British
No, I've got
male
long legs.
was when that ground was built, because it makes zero sense the size that they've made each individual sort of pod where you are. You're like this. But yeah,
No one cares.
what's the best one? I don't know. This is giving something different.
St James's Park.
Do you think people are still watching?
I don't know.
That's another video. What's the best press box?
We never promised to be the most professional YouTubers, but we will try and entertain you if we can.
What is the best press box?
Best press box.
St James's Park's a great view, by the
It
way.
is, but yeah. I would
Dodgy perspex on it.
I would say the all-round best is probably Spurs, but that's another one when you can't.
Spurs is stunning.
Spurs,
It's a
you're
good
on the edge of the
experience.
box. You're not central.
Yeah, you're nowhere near it.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. I feel Arsenal. You're too low.
Yeah, you are too. And you've got the.
People
We've
still
got
watch.
around
St
them,
James's Park view
This is
is
ridiculous.
arguably the best.
It is the best.
People might be interested.
The night.
We've got to give them something that they'll never get the experience that we get. Give them the inside.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I think it's summer content.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I can see Scott Wilson of the Northern Echo looking totally baffled at the waffle that we're producing here.
He's having
If
a
you
bit
can
of
hear
a-
him, he's having a think of what the best press box is. Yeah. Leicester.
It's not a bad
Leicester, you're
shout.
right at the top.
It's not a bad show.
Yeah,
Aye.
Leicester.
It's not a bad show.
So I think view-wise, St James's Park's hard to beat because I quite like being pitch side.
Easy access to the press room. You're laughing at St James's Park. It's brilliant.
You get wet.
Yeah, that's,
you do
that's
get
the
wet.
downside.
Right, I think we've waffled enough. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Tell us short or if you thought it was rubbish. But a little feature on the end there, what we thought were the best and worst of the Premier
Not a
League.
Geordie Journals video if it doesn't descend into pure waffle by then.
Yeah. I think that's what people come for.
You can tell yourself that. Yeah,
Come for the analysis, stay for the waffle.
yeah that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Good way
Right,
forward.
like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Click the bell to get all your Geordie Journals content. The next time you see us will be reminders. You guys will be doing
Eddie Howe, Friday.
from Benton on Friday after Eddie Howe's press conference,
Yeah.
where hopefully it'll be a little bit more upbeat than what we've produced in this 20 minutes. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe for all your Geordie Journals content.